The NFL can't catch a break. Fresh off a historic season, Saquon Barkley just dropped the Barry Sanders level retirement hint on Chris Long's Greenlight podcast, saying, maybe one day, like it will be out of nowhere, I'll probably be balling and just be like, call it quit. Barkley just led the league with 2,005 rushing yards and the Eagles to a Super Bowl, then signed a $41.2 million deal through 2028. Meanwhile, Derek Carr turned down $30 million from the Saints and quit rather than just take the Saints' money, explaining, I knew my heart was at peace and that's really all that mattered. And just when fans thought officiating couldn't get weirder, the NFL axed 3 referees, sparking rigged games chatter after years of controversial calls. New officiating boss Ramon George says it's about accountability and ditching favorites. Is this really about fairness or just PR fire control? Will Barkley actually walk away at his peak? Can the league finally convince fans the games aren't rigged? This week sums up the NFL. Unpredictable, dramatic, and oddly relatable, because who hasn't thought about quitting, calling out a boss, or just wanting things to be fair for once? Barkley ain't retiring. I think he's just throwing it out there like, oh, one day I might just be like, oh, I'm done. Like, I know a lot of people, a lot of those athletes, sometimes, because they have been retiring earlier and earlier in age, like where you would think, dang, I thought they still had a lot of left in the tank and they're just going to leave. Like a good example, Aaron Donald. He was really good, and people felt he retired early, and he's still in the best shape ever, and he's even showed people, but he was like, hey, I've always worked out like this. I just happen to be good at football. Just because I retired didn't mean I was going to stop being in shape. So, but, a lot of these guys are retiring earlier and earlier, and, why not? Why not preserve your body? These guys are getting, as the league goes on, as the league brings in more money, the contracts get bigger every year. Why do they need to play until they're 35, 38, 39, 40 when they're already millionaires, more than enough money to carry them and their children through their life? Why not retire while your body is still, not ran down to the ground? I don't think they feel that they need to stay in the game as long anymore. And as a running back, he takes a lot of hits,
And it's a risk. It really is, because you don't know what's going to happen that year. And it is scary. Yeah.
So I think he's saying, one day he may call it quits, but right now I think he's still going to be balling, and just know that I feel like that was more of just know that he's okay with walking away from the game too. Like, I think he done made more than enough money. He got a ring, you know what I mean? That's really the goal when these guys are in the NFL, is to get that ring.
Oh, quickly. You hear Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers.
Steelers, yes, he did. I saw that. I don't really think that's going to change anything, but
the way that he's playing.
The Steelers have always had a decent. I mean, they had Russell Wilson last season. It was good enough to carry them to the playoffs, and that was it. And I think it's going to be the same deal. It's going to be good enough to possibly carry them to the playoffs.
I mean, now he's in New York, right?
Yeah, he's Russell with Wilson? The Giants now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be good enough to carry them to the playoffs. And then, yeah.
He's washed up. We said this.
I won't say he's washed. Like, his average season was the average good quarterback season. Like, actually, his down season was an average quarterback season. So I won't say all that, but I don't really think of him as a game changer at this point in his career either.
Okay. Derek Carr.
I don't know why anybody's surprised. Derek Carr is a stand-up guy. People always think that he's faking. Oh, he ain't really. Yes, he is. Come on. The man retired because he was like, I can't sit here, be injured, and take y'all $30 million. How about y'all take y'all $30 million, figure out what y'all need to do because I'm hurt anyways. And he walked away. I'm not surprised. Derek Carr is who he is. He's a stand-up guy. He has a lot of values, and he's a fair dude.
So the love of football, though, you already know. That's just how I read it. It's like the love of football. He doesn't want to take the $30 million.
He's a genuine guy. You know what I mean? Like, people always try to crap on Derek Carr, but he's a good dude. And you can tell, like, anybody else would have took that money, would have been like, well, I'm hurt and I'm still going to get paid. Derek Carr was like, you know what? Yeah. I'm not surprised about that at all. I'm not surprised.
And it's just running the risk again of, like, getting more injuries. what? It's like 16, 18 games. Like holy fuck.
And I know a lot of people were like, "You can tell me to take any surgery for $30 million, and I'll do it." Well, that's you, and that's not Derek Carr. So that just speaks on to his character. Like he's a good dude.
Oh, okay.
And
And one more thing. It's like, because if he runs into a risk of getting an injury, he's going to sit on the sidelines and then he's going to like think like, fuck, you know, I'm letting this team down. Took 30 million.
And also the pressure of, I felt like he also maybe felt like I can't, I get this surgery and feeling the pressure of, oh, I need to hurry up and get better and get back so I can help the team. That's also an added layer to it. Like he's hurt. He doesn't want to do another surgery. And I think he just felt it was best for the team that he retired and didn't take the money. So.
Okay. Referees. This was back in, I don't know when it was, but I just recently see the story of them firing 3 referees. What are your thoughts on that? Did you see this story before?
No, but I don't think it's going to change anything.
Because I don't know, people were having backlash about it throughout the whole season, especially with the Chiefs. These calls are ridiculous. So maybe they're making a change, but you say they're not. It's not going to make a difference. So
I don't think so. The other refs still know the assignment. Their assignment isn't to rig the games necessarily, but their calls will manipulate how the game ends. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, the Chiefs or this team or that team is going to just outright win, but they're still going to manipulate games to sway a certain way. If you don't think that the books in Vegas got anything to do with any of this, there's a lot of money can be won or lost. Like they're still going to serve their purpose, which is manipulate games. And that's just how it is. It's always going to be like that, and it's always been like that.
Right.
Maybe they won't be as blatant moving forward, because, the last few years has been pretty obvious. Like, they don't even be trying to hide it. Maybe they'll be a little bit more inconspicuous about it, but I don't think it's going to go away.
Bro, as soon as a bad call goes, you're going to already see it's going to blow up. Like, oh.
And nobody is ever going to be happy, because at the end of the day,
you're right.
they're humans. Is going off the human eye. Sometimes they might see it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they feel they should call it, sometimes they feel they don't. Let's not downplay how hard it is of being a ref. You know what I mean? Let's not downplay that. It's obviously...
NFL players' recruitments after peak seasons are rare but not unprecedented. Calvin Johnson did something similar in 2016. League revenue is expected to top $20 billion for the first time in 2025. The NFL's team TV ratings from the 2024-2025 season were the highest in 5 years. There's growing pressure for the league to expand instant replay and transparency in officiating. The NFL Players Association is pushing for mental health and post-career support, citing increased abrupt exits. Any final thoughts on that?
That's it. The league is the league. We still gonna watch. We still gonna tune in every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, sometimes Saturdays.
Yep, we'll be there because Jess wants to talk about it. Yes.
And maybe we'll even be at a game. Maybe. They gotta win some first. Because I don't know about spending thousands to go to Vegas just to watch them lose. I could have did that for free at the house.
Right.
You ain't gonna ruin my week and waste my money.
But just the experience, too.
I don't give a damn. I would win.
Even in a league built on spectacle, sometimes reality outpaces fiction. Stars like Barkley and Carr remind us that even in a pro sports, personal values can trump paychecks and glory. The NFL firing refs shows that outside pressure does sometimes lead to actual change, maybe, even if fans remain skeptical always. The lesson, nothing's permanent in football. Money, jobs, and even legends can walk away in an instant. Makes you wonder what's next. Aaron Rodgers not leaving. We'll see how many more years he gets. It's probably
Aaron Rodgers getting that bread. I would give Aaron Rodgers another year. If they don't really do anything after this year, I give him another year, and he gonna be like, all right, I'm done. Maybe 2, depending on how the season goes.
Comment below your thoughts.